What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. It's NBA Talk with Jay Money, man. We got our guy Shark back here with us this Sunday, which will get Shark back on a Sunday. You know we about to cash, man. Get on the bookies there. We got our guy at Sharks and Sports from Twitter. What's up with you, Shark? Everything cool with you, my brother?
Absolutely good to be back. I like that. Let's get some cash and get on the bookies' ass. A suddenly not so casual Sharp Sunday. March 13th, 2022. Beautiful card here today, Jay. We got a 7-pack of games. We got 9 words of lifestyle. We're back. We're engaged. People in the chat, get live. Daylight savings. We lost an hour, but we're more live than usual. Jay, lead the way. Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's lead the way. And I thought I had lost these glasses too, man. I had went and got 3 more player glasses yesterday. And then I found the glasses. And then we get the backdoor cover with the Kings. Everything is lovely, man. So these glasses bring some good luck. Sure, I only paid $1.88 for these motherfuckers, man. So I went and got 3 more pair yesterday. But all is good in the hood. Let's get straight to it, man. It's all business here. Let's go over here to the streets of Brooklyn here, Sharp. We have the Nets up against the Knicks, right? And I can tell you this right now. I'm in the business of riding the Nets. They're due to go on a streak. They got KD back. Seth Curry and Andre Drummond is starting to find a little groove, right? Now, most of the time, you do want to ride them on the road when they have Kyrie, but this is a job where I hadn't taken it, Shark, but the Nets are the only way I could look in this one. You get a grueling, long road trip for the Knicks where they actually competed, right? We always talk about this. They found some win on the West Coast. Now you're back on the East Coast, though. This will be your 7th game in 12 days and not even nights, right? Because this is a super early morning start as well. I leaned the Nets here. It's not something I take, but I do think KD and the boys continue their upward movement here, Shark.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. I mean, you made the point. The Knicks are just in a brutal travel spot. As you said, 7-game road trip, 5 straight against the West, 5-0 ATS. And I said this going back about a week and a half ago. Maybe the Knicks want to be in the Western Conference, and maybe they just don't want to play basketball in New York City. And an outside point on that, of course, last year they did catch an immense win playing in Madison Square Garden without fans in Barclays this afternoon, 1 o'clock, ABC National. Within this matchup this year, the underdog has been the cash point. Go back to early season, 112-110 Nets. James Harden was still on the team. They laid down on a 6 at Barclays. It came back to Madison Square Garden. A far more lackluster Nets roster did win 111-106 at a Knicks -5.5 there. An egregious melt by the Knicks, 38-19, Brooklyn fourth quarter. So you come back in here, you get the Knicks in a revenge game. But as you said, we are in the environment now in mid-March to find by teams, professional teams, playoff teams, championship caliber teams that need to cluster wins to get playoff positioning. If I had to take anything here, I would take what is a strong 11.5-point line move towards the Nets at 1 o'clock. Nothing official, but that would be the top look here.
Yeah, I can see some fatigue settling in here for the Knicks. I'm watching that game versus the Grizzlies, and they came out to ball there. They simply ran out of gas there late in the fourth quarter. And so I'm like, if they run out of gas in this game, they're really going to be walking zombies in that next one versus the Nets team that look like they're on one right now. Like I say, I bet you KD told this team, we're not losing too many games, guys. I'm back in here. Let's get on the streak. So that's what it looks like to me. Heavy lean to the Nets, -5.5. I must say, I didn't get there. It's the first game of the day. Funky little spot, but I would be surprised if the Nets didn't cover this 5.5. Shark, let's go over here to the Pistons here. These motherfuckers are 10-0 against the spread last 10 games. You do find a revenge fight as well. They lost 107-96, barely covered there by the hook over there in LA. You get the first game of back-to-back as well. The Clippers have the Cavs on deck here. You like the Pistons here plus the points, my guy?
I do. 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 Central, Little Caesars Arena, Detroit, Michigan. Home locker room. We're on Detroit +5. It's getting steamed down. That is sharp action. And when you look what's going on here, Jay said it. The Detroit Pistons are 10-0 ATS last 10. I'll repeat that. 10-0 ATS last 10. What does this remind you of? Another Central team, early season, that was misgraded and unadjusted by books, the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Detroit Pistons are the new late season Cleveland Cavaliers. They have found a great flow with Marvin Bagley, Cade Cunningham's balling. The group is together. And what you're looking at here is really just a brutal spot for the Clippers. Clippers get a front end back-to-back. They play at Cleveland tomorrow. It's a matinee. It's 12 Pacific on their body time. And they're doing what they're doing on these Eastern trips. They show up in the first game against an Eastern team. The second game has been a real dead zone spot for them. Go back to their first one within this campaign, outright win at Boston, then came back at Toronto 2 days later, which we had correctly that night, 116-108 Toronto. A little later on, an outright win at Philly to open an Eastern trip. And then on a Sunday afternoon, I should say, in New York City, New York Knicks -4.5, a J Money special did cash for us there. You look at what's going on here. As Jay said, a revenge game, 107-96 Clippers in Crypto.com early season. 11.5 line at home, opens at 6, should be 8.5. It's short for a reason. All boxes are checked. Pistons here hopefully will win this game outright. 5-0 ATS last 5 at home. I don't think it stops here today, Jeff.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm seeing fours popping up now. It's going down to 4.5, pretty much fours across the board here. So money coming in on the Pistons, and this one looks like the sharp side to me. It's the only way that I could be on, my guys. I'll ride with you on the Pistons in this one. Like 10-0 ATS last 10, they definitely found a groove. Let's go up here to the streets of Boston real quick, man. We got the Celtics here laying 7 versus the Mavs. It's a tough game for me. I did see that Reggie Bullock, one of our 3-and-D type of guys out. This Mavs team can ball, man, and what they're doing it with defense. Last night, I was leaning towards the Mavs. They have won the last 3 versus Boston, so you could say this is a revenge spot for them, but I don't know, though. They're 9-3 against the spread last 12 meetings in Boston. They just seem to play this team nice. They're 6-0 against the spread last 6 as an underdog, and 5-0-1 ATS last 6 road games here. So I lean the Mavs. It is a tough game. Would like to have full squad, everybody out there, but I mean, it's 2 bye teams for me, Shark. Not in a hurry to bet against the Celtics. Definitely not going against my Mavs right now. What do you like here? Maybe an under spot in this game?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is a tough spot. We talked about this all year. The Celtics are tough to cap. They were tough to cap because they were super inconsistent. Now they're just sharp on the number. And I think this is a really, really sharp number. When you go back to early season, Dallas did win at home 107-104. That was Dallas -3.5. So when it's a hook finish in Dallas, this did move largely to Boston -5.5 at open. So it's a Boston line number. But we saw this last weekend against Brooklyn. Boston did cover the spread by 1.5 points or push on a 6 final line. I just suspect that books really have a handle over these matinee Sunday games for Boston. Of course, national game, either playoff style games on razor sharp numbers. 1 point on Dallas. Dallas has a lot of Eastern travel points at the end of their calendar here. This is the first of a 3-game set here on the East Coast. They do play Brooklyn on Wednesday. That is a long layoff. So theoretically, they're going to lay it on the floor tonight before a couple of nights off. They do finish at Philly, I believe, on Friday. And then later on, they go on a 4-game trip to the Central. Dallas started off the year, Jay, you know this as a fan. I sure know it as a capper. Very poor at the East. A lot of non-covers. And we said this before they played at Miami. I think they're going to flip a switch against the East. They can't continue to go, essentially 2-12 ATS against the East. The team is just too good for that. I would lean Mavs here. It's a Boston number, but this hasn't really mattered in these spots. Lean Mavs, nothing official, 3:30 p.m. Really just a gamble, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was at 5 last night where I was leaning the Mavs. Up to 7 now, so I'm trying to see who's obviously it's money coming in on Boston. It is good people, good points in the chat, man. I'd love to chat. Like this is all the community. We all trying to cash together. Appreciate you, Quinn, for that $10 tip as well, man. But people in the chat are saying or reminding me that this is KG's retirement ceremony for Boston Celtics. So you see some money coming in on them. It's a tough game for me. I usually like to stay away from these type of games because see it going either way. Usually in that instance, I would be taking the points with the Mavs. This team can match up with the Celtics. They got some ballers over there. Tough game for me, not forcing a play there. We'll definitely watch the hell out of it, though. Shark, let's go over here to the streets of Orlando. You have the Magic here, man. They in a trip. This is an ugly ass game. They're in a triple revenge spot now. They lost 101-96 November 29th. Philly laid -14 in Philly and that one. They lost 106-116. Orlando was +8.5 and that one had to get outscored by 28. They had to get outscored 28-17 in the fourth quarter to basically lose that game. So the Magic were up after 3 quarters in that one, and then 123-110 in Philadelphia on a Philly minus 11.5, and Embiid had 50 points in that game, and they still barely cover. So the Magic have shown that they can kind of play these guys tough here, Shark. You get the first game of a back-to-back where Embiid goes up with the reigning MVP, Jokic, tomorrow at the house. Just kind of see this as a look-ahead spot. The 76ers also been off for 2 days. They're 3-7 against the spread this year with 2 days rest. It's a tough game for him, but I can only look towards the Magic in this one, Shark. It's the home double-digit dog on a not-so-casual Sunday. Or, I mean, wouldn't you agree? These are the type of Sunday plays that the ugly dogs that hit.
Yeah. I mean, you said it. Obviously, triple revenge game. And the standout point for me when I was looking at this, and I won't have an official on this game, is just how sharp the last 2 games were. As you said, 11.5 finished at 13, 8.5 finished at 10. The last time Philly did play in Orlando, I lost, actually. I had taken the first half there. They did not come out there. They did backdoor it, as you said, in the fourth quarter. But as you mentioned, Denver tomorrow, a couple more games right after that against playoff teams. This is definitely a dead zone spot. The only thing that would make it not a dead zone spot is the fact they just got hammered by 29 in the last game at home against the Nets. So theoretically, there should be at least some mild professional motivation to come back here. But as you mentioned, as you made the comment, the Magic at home have been quite good. And I think what we said with Detroit also applies to the Magic. These teams are well coached. They're young. They have young professional players. And I'll say this, you can't coach professionalism. It's largely born into a player. And that's why the draft is so important. And that's why the Sacramento Kings are so awful. Because no coach can go in there and make a guy professional, really. And when you look at Orlando has drafted professionals, as has Detroit. And that's why they're showing signs late season. 82 games, 6-month regular season. These teams next year, I'm not going to say they're going to the playoffs. You're going to see a leap with these teams. They're showing the ability late season to compete. I think the Magic will compete here tonight. If I had a free play, I would take the Magic here.
Yeah, you make a good point there. The Sixers are coming off getting smacked up, but like I say, they're 2 days off rest, then them having a game tomorrow. I just see them as, let's get in here and win, and let's really show up tomorrow. Like, it's an ESPN game tomorrow at the house versus the Nuggets. You go down here versus the Magic, you land double digits on the road, an uninspiring game. I just got smacked up, but there's a lot bigger game tomorrow on deck to show the world that you are back and you can ball up against the guys like Jokic. That's where I see the Sixers really balling out. I'll be honest. Someone may rest here. Seriously, I mean, we see Harden have been playing the back-to-backs with his hamstring. I'm not saying that Embiid will likely rest here, but you have a bigger game tomorrow on ESPN. I can see them really looking past this. So appreciate you, Matt, in the chat as well, man, for that follow tip. We got our boy Dutch Boy Fresh in the chat as well, man. Can't wait to holler at you out there in Vegas. Little picks in the chat, liking the Sixers -11.5. Sorry, but it is coming down, guys. It was 13 last night, down to 11.5. 112 out there, a couple of 12s. So spreads going down, money coming in on the Magic. I agree with it. Go up here to the streets of Oklahoma City here, Shark. This one's come up. It's 13.5 now, but there's not many scenarios where I see that the Grizzlies, as long as they come out here and play their style of basketball, Shark, why wouldn't they smack this team up? Trifecta, Smack City spot.
Top player of the day, Paycom Center, Oklahoma City, 7 p.m. Memphis Grizzlies. Buy hat is engaged. We're going first quarter -4.5 and first half -7.5. A lot to look at here. Let's go through the 3 matchups this year. First matchup of the year was the biggest blowout win in NBA history, 152-79. So when Memphis wants to beat this team, they can beat them down in historical proportions. And then a J Money special came back. Oklahoma City caught the Grizzlies in the revenge game off the 73-point loss, and it was Ja Morant's first game back in the lineup off an injury. 102-99 Oklahoma City. So you get a Memphis revenge game. They will remember that. And you really look at what Memphis does on the road against the bottom feeder teams. They come out with a higher level of intensity and just go full throttle in the first quarter and first half to really just take you right out of the game. They did it at New Orleans. They did it at Houston. They did it at Portland. And they did it at one of their bottom feeder that's eluding me right now. They've also done it at the East significantly and sustainably against the bad teams. And you really look at what's going on here for Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City has been far better on the road. They come home. This is not where they function well. Home game, one off a road game. I take you back to last Sunday. Utah came in there on a Sunday, did not cover the game 13.5 by a hook, but did come out and throttle them in the first quarter and the first half. I think Memphis comes in here tonight focused and ready to go. Revenge game, number all over them and a spot they want to dominate. 2 units total, 1 unit first quarter, 4.5, 7.5 first half, an opportunity to dominate. Jay.
Yeah, we're gonna do a little trifecta spot, man. I'll go Memphis full game here. I'll take them full game, even at minus 13.5. I see it. I don't see many scenarios where they don't smack these guys up by 20 points. This team doesn't stop playing. Even their guys off the bench, young guys. There's some huge things going on here, man. You have a team playing for everything versus a team that's playing for absolutely nothing. If anything, they're playing for guys next year. I don't think that Trey Mann will be here. I said I'm taking full game with Trey Mann's out. I saw that he didn't practice yesterday. He tried to practice and then kind of retweaked his ankle. So that tells me that he won't be in there today. Last game where they lost 99-102, obviously that was a huge revenge game for the Thunder. And they literally brought everybody back for that game. They had Dort in there. He had 12 points. Giddey had 19 points, 11 assists in that game. Still had Trey Mann. So they're down to basically SGA guys. Like that's who they're bound down to. SGA and a bunch of other guys. So I mean, I'm not going to call it bums. They're still NBA players. They can still turn up. But here at the house, the brand of basketball that the Grizzlies play, this team could literally go in here and win by 25 points on accident. Just the way that they play defense and offense. Ja Morant getting to the rim, Jaren Jackson Jr. As long as they don't rest anyone, I see a 20-point blowout smack city spot, trifecta spot from the Grizzlies here today. I'll take them as the top player today, minus 13.5. A little bit smaller play, but still trying to cash it. Let's go, Shark. 20-point win. Let's go up here to the streets of Atlanta real quick, man. We got the Pacers took care of us last night. They're getting 11 points tonight on the road versus the Hawks. We saw the Hawks smack this team up earlier this year. They're due to surge up, right? They're due to come up here, Shark, especially at the house. So I can only look towards the Hawks. I'm not laying they don't play enough defense for me to lay 12 points with them, but the Pacers don't. It's a tough game for you. Like some here?
Honestly, I would lean the Pacers. I think a key point when you look at this Pacers back-to-back, they did have 3 nights off before that big win in San Antonio last night. So not all back-to-backs are created equally. When you have a bunch of rest before the first leg, they should be able to sustain some energy here. And, of course, we've talked about Indiana all year. Indiana, I believe, is the worst team, if not the second worst team on the road in the whole sport. A big win last night, but again, like they should sustain something there. And you look at the number, I think the number is the key point here. Indiana did lay 2 points early season to Atlanta, back when Atlanta was far more lackluster. Atlanta did win the game 114-111, and then it flipped from Indiana -2, all the way to Atlanta -13, a 15 gap, and Atlanta did hammer them 133-112. So when you win by 21 on a -13, and they open the lineup below both the deficit and the line at 11, it's actually telling you this is an Indiana numerical spot, and it does make sense. We talked about this with Charlotte. Atlanta and Charlotte are similar in multiple ways. They play in the same division. They're in the same area of the country. They have young players. They don't play well on Sundays. Very key point. They're 0-3 last 3 games on Sunday. The last home game on a Sunday was against the Lakers. They laid 7 points. They won by 8 or 9. They played an awful game, and we're very fortunate to blow them out 38-20 in the fourth quarter. Free play here. I am taking Indiana. I think Indiana keeps this closer than people think here today.
Gotcha. Yeah, this is a tough game for me, guys. Like I say, it's nothing official for me, but it's Hawks are nothing for me. I do think they're due to come up after playing very lackluster on the road. They got a little homestand here. They could crush these guys by 20 points again, man. The Pacers don't play a lick of defense. They almost let that B team Spurs that were trying to take the game away come back and win. Like, how do you even let them get it back down to 7 after being up 20 points, man? This Pacers team really does scare me, especially without Brogdon. They don't have a ton of size. They like to run and gun. When they're not hitting threes, this team could literally get smacked up by 30 here. So we'll see if the Hawks bring their A game. I could only look towards the Hawks in this one. Let's go over here to the man. Man, I'd rather talk about some shirts than this game, man. But the Rockets versus the Pelicans here, Shark. You like some here?
This is going to be real tough. Obviously, we got injuries all over the grid. Is Brandon Ingram going to play? Is CJ McCollum? What's going on here? I haven't looked
out. They out for a while.
Okay, yeah. So this is just brutal. And you look at the line here. Again, this is divisional stuff. It does matter. First matchup of the year, New Orleans did lay 2.5 in Houston and lose outright. And then awful loss in the same gym. It came up from 2.5 to 6.5, which indicated a blowout. We had that play that day. They did cover 120 to 107 in the third quarter specifically. So now you get a double revenge game for Houston, and the line's short. When you lay 6.5 on the road, you come back and lay 6. It's shading towards Houston. But of course, with players out, it becomes so hard to cap. Houston's tough to cap. New Orleans without players also tough to cap. 7 p.m. here, Smoothie King Center. Run and hide.
Man, I was about to write down Rockets. I'm not writing that shit on my paper. I don't lean the Rockets. I'm not betting this game, man. Man, I'd rather talk about some shirts than this game, man. No, but if I had to bet it, it would be Rockets or nothing for me. Not taking that team, especially on the road, man. So I hate to have that approach to the game. I'm not betting the Rockets, and I'm not doing it. But I wouldn't be surprised they got it done. Pelicans have lost their offense with their 2 best offensive players, McCollum and Ingram, guys. Last game up. Let's go over here to the streets of Phoenix here. We have the Suns. This one, yeah, still 8.5. Some 8s out there. Maybe some money coming on the Lakers. Y'all gonna get some shirts or what, man? But Shark, 8.5 Suns. What we doing? Smack City spot or what?
This is going to be tough. This is another line that I think is going to be razor sharp. You've seen the Lakers on the road this year. Very sharp stuff. A lot of gamble-style lines within one bucket of the spread. I would lean Lakers here. Something that I made a comment to somebody the other day off the record. LeBron James has proved to us in the last week or two he can still ball at a high Hall of Fame level. He's just being shackled by an awful roster group. I mean, I've been calling it the Family and Friends Tour all year. It's not only the Family and Friends Tour, it's the nursing home tour. These guys are old. They can't play. There's no flow. But the key point is LeBron is showing up with pride. And I think he's going to start covering spreads for them just because he's going to start doing what Kobe did at the back end of Kobe's window there before they rebooted the roster, where Kobe started going off for 40 a game every single game with a lackluster group. And I think that's what LeBron is going to do here. You've seen it. He's covering spreads now. Obviously, 9 o'clock here, ESPN national game. But you get a double revenge game for the Lakers. Lakers got hammered twice in crypto.com. Very early season, Phoenix -1, win by 10, came up to Phoenix -6.5 in the revenge game. So very strong, noteworthy number for Phoenix. Hammered the Lakers in a game that was very noteworthy. The Lakers really showcased some on-court anger with each other in that game. It was a real bottom-out game for the Lakers. Of course, Anthony Davis will not be playing tonight. Totally new group. But, again, the number does tell a story here. When you lay 6.5 on the road, and you win by 18 and you come back, you should be laying 9.5 for strength 10 or 11. It's short by 1 point. So it's telling you one thing. This game should be tight on the number around 8, 7, 6, or 5 final. And I say this all the time. Said it last time with Sacramento. It's going to be a 1 bucket spread. This for me is a dog take, but it's a 1 bucket spread.
Yeah, I'm with you. This is a tough game. It's I don't know. It's an uninspiring game for me. I like to say Lakers are nothing for me. I don't care about this game, man. I'm sorry. It's an uninspiring spot for me. It's a not so casual Sunday here, Shark. Hey, y'all can hit me up NbaTalkWithJay at Gmail. I think I got like 30 shirts already on pre-sale, man. So if y'all did already pre-sale a shirt or got a Smack City, I appreciate you guys for the support, man. It's the movement, man. We got business cards, we got everything, QR code, scan that shit, man. I might start sending out glasses, man, but it's all business, Shark. Let's get into NbaTalkWithJay at Gmail for the shirts, or you can just DM me on Twitter or leave some comments. Shark, what are we doing today, my guy? Let's get some cash.
3 top plays, 9 words of lifestyle. Ride the way we got the water. 3 p.m. Eastern. Pistons at home +5. 4.5 should be fine. I think they could win this game today. This is an absolute dead zone spot for the Clippers, and we are going to the buy hat. Grizzlies first quarter -4.5. First half -7.5. Revenge game, line number, what they love to do on the road against the bad teams. They come out with a different type of passion and just handle the first quarter and the first half. Jay Money, a pleasure. We will be back on this week. Jay's going to Vegas. I see you, Dutch, in the chat. My man, I'll be out in Vegas sometime this summer. We'll be doing all the rendezvous. Only business, only domination. Jay Money, close them out, and let's dominate.
It's all business, man. When we get there to Vegas, I know they have free drinks there. No drinking for me. It's all business. We're trying to get some cash, trying to run up those bands, man. It's all business. We're trying to get some cash. Swaggy D, I see you in the chat, my guy. If you know, you know. But yeah, for me, I just hopped on Grizzlies first half, -7.5, full game, -13.5, man. Couple of small plays. It's the only thing I'm betting today. I probably won't even. I'm finna go and enjoy my life, man. I'm finna go have a picnic at the lake. You dig what I'm saying? Finna have some fun. It's a good day. Let's get some cash. Still trying to look at my phone later and see a Grizzlies 30-point win, man. Let's get some cash. I appreciate everybody for tuning in and hit the like button, subscribe. Let's get some cash again today, man. We're back tomorrow all week, man. Even in Vegas, man. When I get there Thursday early morning, there's still gonna be a show. The show must go on, man. It's all business. Let's get some cash. Hit the like button, subscribe, and we out, my guys.